Marietta. The city that some claim to be the most haunted city in Ohio is home to the historic Anchorage Villa. The Anchorage, aka Putnam Place or Putnam Villa, is a large Italian-style villa with 22 rooms that overlooks western Marietta. Construction of this home was completed in 1859 by Douglas Putnam for his wife Eliza. Eliza had visited New Jersey with her husband to see some old friends and fell in love with the design of their home. So back in Marietta, Douglas began construction of this now historic location for his beloved wife. After moving into her newly constructed home, a few years later in 1862, Eliza Putnam died from heart disease. A later resident of the home, Dr. Harry Knox and family, renamed the Putnam Villa to the Anchorage, out of inspiration of the entrance walk and steps. From the 1960s to 1986, the estate was used as a nursing facility, and then was donated to the Washington County Historical Society. Restoration of this building began in 1995 and continues through to this day. The paranormal claims at this location are plentiful. A young African-American boy is said to appear on the second floor periodically. The claims of this location being linked to the Underground Railroad may be the reason for this spirit's presence. Although this is not documented, we do plan on asking Tom Moore, our tour guide, about this. A little girl has also been seen wandering the estate and peering out windows at passerbyers. Our paranormal tour guide, Tom Moore, has also seen himself a black shadow in the Putnam master bedroom on the second floor. A former nurse has also claimed to have seen Eliza Putnam on the first floor staircase wandering upstairs. Could the spirits of these children be those who were past residents of the Anchorage? And could Eliza Putnam still be admiring the home in which she loved so dearly? We plan on utilizing our equipment to try and search for some answers as we investigate what our team refers to as House on Haunted Hill. We hope to turn up some interesting results during our stay at the historic Anchorage. MOPA Tech Specialist Josh. Tonight we're heading down to Marietta, Ohio to investigate a historic mansion called the Anchorage, aka Putnam Place. The original owner, Eliza Putnam, and her husband Douglas, has finished construction of this mansion in 1859, and her ghost is said to frequently haunt this building, looking out bedroom windows and going up and down hallways, as well as some other paranormal claims.
Eliza Putnam died in 1862 due to heart disease. She never got a chance to really take in and enjoy her home. So I'm thinking probably that strong emotional attachment to the Anchorage and her. She's still there and still admiring her home, so hopefully she'll admire the fact that we're there.
Just ready to get down here and check it out, see what we can stir up.
There have also been paranormal claims of an African-American boy that's also been seen roaming the hallways.
When we get down here, we'll have to talk to Tom Moore and see about the secret rooms, because there's been claims of this place being linked to the Underground Railroad. That just may be where the African-American boy comes in. So, the little girl, we're just going to try and make contact with her. We don't know where she come from, and maybe Tom Moore can fill us in on a little more detail on that.
But they said that just one day she showed up and she's in the upstairs wandering around there.
They claim Marietta is the most haunted city in Ohio, what a lot of people say, so we're going to see how haunted the Anchorage is when we get down here and use all of our equipment to try and scientifically document some evidence. So we'll meet Jim down here, get the equipment set up after we meet Tom Moore and get our tour and get rolling.
Of course, they welcome a lot of people in this area. And one thing here is in this room and in this room here, off to my right here, you'll hear a lot of people walking around upstairs above you. This is where, at the one time it was a nursing facility, this is where their offices were. The patients that lived upstairs were unable to walk. They stayed in their bed 24/7 unless they put them in wheelchairs and moved them around. There are numerous times that they heard people walking around upstairs. They go upstairs and everybody be sound asleep. Funerals, they all took place in this room in here. This is all original work around the ceiling. Of course, you'll see some spots throughout the house that's missing some. There was a young gentleman here. He had a birthday party here a few years ago. They were playing hide and seek. There were just a few of them. They did knock on this door right over here because they thought that maybe he was hiding in here. And I'll show you the other side here shortly. They knocked, they heard somebody knock. So they knocked again, and they opened up the door. And of course, it's nothing but a storage area. Over in this area is where the main activity takes place. It is the Putnam master bedroom. People have heard audible voices in here. I myself have actually got to see a shadow figure walking across the floor, and then they were gone. Some people have had some malfunctions with their video cameras in here. Another group, they heard in the room right over across the hall from us, they heard a woman crying. He came back over, got the guy with the video camera, said, "Hey, get back over here. You got to see this or hear this." He got back over there, they could hear somebody crying again, and then it stopped. Out in this area, there was a gentleman sitting here on a chair one night. He did hear sound like, he said, it sounded like a dog running across this floor. Whether it was a dog or whether it was a mouse or something, I don't know, but he said it was definitely sound like claws, the feet of the dog going across the floor. Up in here, there has been a voice recorded, only one that I know of. Myself and another gentleman was up in here. We were just commenting on the house, the beauty of it, what it could be like if it got completely restored. We were, of course, asking questions, and Al and myself was up here, and we did say, if there's anything else that you'd like to say to us, please let us know now. And we're getting ready, and then we finally said, okay, we're getting ready to leave. We got up, you could hear us getting up, and when we played the recorder back, there's a guy's voice when he goes, "Wait." Had we heard that voice at the time, then of course we had waited. But of course it was a playback, so we were unable to hang around and wait. In this room here, that's why you see this here, this chair. Mm-hmm. Usually there's a couple more chairs up in here. Somebody must have taken them on down or something. And I don't know if you guys have experienced this in other places, but when it gets dark up in here, and it's not just one person or two people seeing it, whoever is up in here, we'll start seeing them. Little burst of pin lights, just a real quick burst. I was standing right here. There's a lady sitting on that chair. We were just communicating back and forth. There's another young fella. He did not know her. As a matter of fact, he came from Columbus, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Him and his father did. He came walking around. He walked over through this way, and he stops and he starts to go back this way. And all of a sudden, she lets out a gasp, and I hear him he just jumped and and I was like, I'm like, what happened, And she said, "Did you see it?" And the boy said, "Yeah, it was a little girl." No, not that I know of. Okay. They're not the only ones who have seen this little girl in this house. A lot of people have seen her down on Second, there has been a local resident here in Marietta that the mother came on one of our tours, and she said her daughter was up here walking her dog. She comes back home, she says, "Mommy, what's that little girl doing in that old house up there?" And she said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "There's a little girl up there in that hallway." And she said that there's nobody that lives up there. She described the exact same that these two here that night seen up here as well. Working, she came around here, she started to go up, and she met Eliza standing up on the top there. She came right back down the stairs, and she said, "I quit." She never came back in this place. They actually transferred her to another nursing facility. One of the ladies that came on one of her prior hunts actually was working here that night, and she got to tell us about it and told us exactly what happened, and it was definitely pretty interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so Tom Moore here showed us pretty much all the hot spots of paranormal activity through the Anchorage. Tom here is a member of the Mid-Ohio Valley Ghost Hunters. You can check him out on Facebook. Check out some of his investigations as well as his investigations here at the Anchorage. Tom, thank you for the tour. We're going to go ahead and set up our equipment and get going.